So the big question that we're really exploring in this series is what's your edge, individually and also collectively as a team? Now, I believe that outsized commercial results are possible when we find our edge and then when we skillfully express it with conviction, authenticity, vulnerability, and generosity, and in service of a purposeful mission. Now, to find your edge, there's a few dimensions that are worth exploring. So the first one is your way of being. Now, you're a unique observer of the world, and that in turn also makes you a unique actor. And to borrow from the world of acting, Hollywood acting coach Bernard Hiller likes to ask people, like, well, what do you bring to show business that we don't already have? Look, Hollywood is full of people trying to break into show business. They all sort of like look the same at the very early stages of their career. And the question then can become, but what do you bring that we don't have? And Hiller suggests that it's really, the answer is always you. You're authentic, fully expressed, and vibrant energy. Your perspective, your unique points of view, the way that you will give life to a role. That's what really separates you. Now, from an ontological perspective, your way of being is always shaped by your habitual ways of thinking. That's intellect, feeling your emotions, and acting through the physical body, how you show up. Now, that is also the definition of personality, which can be explored in terms of personality traits, reactive patterns under pressure, your values, motives, and preferences, and your human needs. Now, getting really clear on your way of being allows you to develop what we call strategic self-awareness. It allows you to sort of like see and tune into the elements that set you apart from everyone else. So you can really leverage your strengths and you can scaffold your weaknesses, the things that challenge you, and you can sort of like build practices around that that allow you to manage those. Now, the second dimension of edge is really your track record. And that's pretty straightforward, isn't it? I mean, it's your lived experience, it's past successes, it's your failures, and also your credentials. A third dimension is what I call know-how, and that's a simplification of a couple of things coming together. This speaks to your technical and subject matter expertise. More broadly, it also speaks to sector industry dynamics that you're in the know of. You know about emerging trends, key players, and it's really also based on your lived experience. And your lived experience, that's what gives rise to what the entrepreneur and investor Naval Ravikant calls specific knowledge. That's the kind of knowledge that you can't really be trained for. It kind of be taught. It's not learned through books, online courses, and the likes. It's the kind of knowledge that you really only develop through lived experience and the track record that we discussed earlier. There is also know who. And that really speaks to the social network and the social element of this. Who do you know? What are the kind of relationships that you've fostered? And also like what are, like the knowledges and skills that you have in navigating those relationships? Now, the fourth dimension of edge is passion. So look, no matter how busy life gets, there are always themes of professional interest that you return to that keep pulling you in. Joseph Campbell coined the meme, follow your bliss. The author Keith Ferrazzi talks about finding your blue flame, which is the combination of passion and ability. He talks about it in his best-selling book, Never Eat Alone. The key here really is to look for those passionate interests, either within your professional domain, or if they're outside of that, then to be really clear and intentional with how you can sort of take those personal blue flame interests and how you can leverage them professionally. The sort of cliched but really good example is if you're really passionate about playing golf, then, well, you can leverage that to deepen professional relationships. Now, let's put it all together. Your edge is sort of that unique combination of your way of being, your track record, your know-how, and your passion. But so what? Well, that overall framework, that only becomes commercially useful when it's explicitly directed towards results. And that is where you turn competitive edge into accelerated value creation. It's also how you turn who you are at your very best individually, but also collectively as a team into the results that matter with a lot less friction. And that's what ultimately gives you the confidence and peace of mind faster that you have the capacity to seize opportunity as they arise.